This is episode 5. With this workout, I done it outdoors, and the first exercise is a muscle up, dips and pull ups. You might be confused by what I mean by this, but basically it's just muscle ups for as many reps as I can, and then straight bar dips for the same number of reps or slightly more, and then pull ups for as many reps as I can. So the purpose of this is to build up the endurance, muscle strength, stamina, everything pretty much that you need for muscle ups. So I'm doing the full muscle up first. And then when I can't do any more, I break the movement down and I do the dip, and then I also do the pull up. So you're basically working the muscle up and then kind of half the muscle up and half the muscle up again. So as you can see here, I'm doing my muscle ups and then can't do any more. So I go straight into the dips. And one thing I would say about the dips, make sure you bring your lower chest to the bar, and also um, make sure that when you're doing the dips, if you can, pause at the bottom, because the pause at the bottom is really going to make a difference, because when you're doing the muscle up, that's basically where you're going to be dipping from. You're not going to be dipping from your abs, you're going to be dipping from your lower chest. That's just one tip for the dips. And also with the pull-ups, try to keep your toes in front of your chest, because if you bring them behind where they're naturally going to go, that's not really going to train your muscle up, because in the muscle up you have to swing forward a little bit. As you can see here, my feet are always in front of my body, and if I look down I can see them. So that's a quick pointer for you guys for any time you're doing this kind of set. Even during the dips, you can see my feet. I can basically look at them if I want to. And yeah, so always keep your feet in front of your chest so that you can train for the muscle up specifically. This is quite tiring. I will be honest with you guys. If you are a beginner, you shouldn't really try this. But let's go on to the second exercise, which is a banded front lever. As you can see here, I'm holding the red band, but I was feeling a bit fatigued in my back, so I moved up to the black band, which is a bit thicker and that can help me more. I was just holding a one leg progression, because with two legs, as I said, my back's quite fatigued from the sets before. So maybe in the future I can do this even after doing the muscle ups, but for now this is enough of a challenge. And yeah, in general, with the front lever, you do not want to rush. You want to give it time. It's quite an advanced skill, and it's a gateway skill for all the other pulling skills. All the other pulling skills will become easier if you can front lever. So it's definitely worth being patient and putting your time and effort into it. And now the third exercise, pike press ups, but these are going to be done on top of the dip bars. The reason for this is because eventually I want to be doing handstand press ups on these bars. So one mental cue that I'm putting into this set and into these reps is that when I'm at the top here, I'm pretending that I'm in a handstand. I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm doing pike press ups. I just think that I'm in a handstand and I'm training my handstand press up. This is basically going to use my mind as kind of like a mental hack for me, so that when I do get to do handstand press ups up here, I already trained it a lot and I'm doing the form quite similar basically. Even though my legs are being used for assistance on the bars, I'm already kind of in the alignment of how a handstand press up should be, which is bringing your head forward and not bringing it directly down. So that's just a little mental hack for you guys. When you're doing your pike press ups, pretend that you're doing handstand press ups, and then eventually you'll get the handstand press up as well. The one thing I would say as well is, as you can see in the video, my legs are slightly bent. This makes it a little bit easier. For me on this day, it felt quite hard doing it like this, so this is why I done it like this. But ideally, you want to have your legs completely straight. It is a little bit harder as well because your legs are apart. If you're doing it on the floor or anywhere where your feet are together, it's easier to keep your legs straight. But just bear that in mind. So anytime you do it on high bars like this and your legs are apart, it's a bit harder to keep your legs straight. But that's no excuse. You can still do it for sure. But for me personally, on this day, I felt a lot of challenge doing them like this. And as you can see as well, my shoulders are basically coming down to become parallel with my hands. So this is quite deep. The range of motion is definitely, I would say, more than what most people do with their pike press ups. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I just like to do it that way because I'm working more raw strength. And eventually, yeah, when I do the handstand press up, I want to be able to go deep into it like this. So it takes more strength, but and more time. But for me, it's worth it because ultimately I want to master my body weight. And if I train like this at the start, which is now, then I'll be a lot stronger in the future. So no rush for me personally. And the final exercise of this workout was the handstands. As you can see, number 4 handstands. So I didn't do too many exercises, but I did focus a lot on them. Here, I'm just trying to keep my body completely straight. which is one of my favorite things to work on when I'm recording my sets. Because obviously, if you don't keep your body straight, your handstand isn't going to look good. So recording yourself is always a good idea when you're doing handstands, so you can see where you're going wrong. And that's pretty much it for this workout. Episode 6 on the way soon as I continue to build strength. Subscribe.